Hello, divine beings. Welcome to the last weekend of October 26th through October 27th, 2024. I'm your astrologer, Sarah Ashley, here with the AstroTarot for the weekend. All right, so this weekend's the main theme is going to be about healing. Why we're at where we are now. Because why? Well, we have the moon in Virgo for one, so we are introspecting through our emotions, right? Very emotionally introspective, keeping to ourselves perhaps, or maybe we're doing some writing, some meditation, and Mercury in Scorpio, right, which is helping us to think at a very deep level, unearth our shadow side. We're not afraid to do some very deep examination of why we did certain things and how it added up to certain consequences of where we're at right now. It's in a yod, okay, that's very sacred karmic energy with Chiron and Aries, which is our childhood wounds, and Jupiter and Gemini, which is helping us to reevaluate some things that we have learned and maybe some more things that we need to learn, okay? So we're being very reasonable with ourselves. We're being very honest with ourselves if we are willing to do the shadow work. If you're not willing to do that shadow work, what you're going to do is probably bypass, blame, and shame others for why you're at where you're now. So don't be that person, okay? So if you find yourself blaming and shaming and pointing the finger and playing the victim, you have to do some work on yourself. You got to do the shadow work. You can't avoid this Mercury and Scorpio yod with Chiron and Jupiter. That's a yod. It's unavoidable. And to support all this, besides that moon in Virgo, which is very supportive of this energy, and the sun is, of course, in Scorpio, which is also very supportive of this shadow work energy, we also have Mars in Cancer, trining Neptune and Pisces, which is also going to help us become more creative, more spiritually directed. So if you want to be your best self, if you want to be motivated to do things from your heart and soul and from your genuine authenticity, from your soul lineage, this transit, Mars trine Neptune in that watery sign, it's going to really help you lead with a lot of intuition to support all the shadow work that you're doing. So if you're like, well, I know why I'm at where I'm now, but what do I do next? Well, Mars trine Neptune is going to help you get there, okay? We also have Mars still making that sextile with Uranus, helping to support us to make better decisions, take new ways of doing things, and be very innovative. It's like actually creating new neural pathways in your brain, creating new habits, healthier habits. So all these beautiful possibilities and opportunities are there. So stop shaming and blaming yourself for your present circumstances, especially if you want to move forward, okay? Say, hey, it's not about the guilt trip. It's like, oh, I made those decisions. I understand psychologically why I did that, right? I understand that. I understand maybe why I did that out of my childhood trauma or my patterns or my generational, curse kind of trauma, but I'm going to make new decisions now. I'm going to make new and improved patterns, okay? We also have something interesting going on Sunday that I want to talk about. Very important. Venus is going to start to square Saturn, okay? Monday is the official square, but Sunday, Venus square Saturn, starting off in that zero orb. Wow. Venus in Sagittarius squaring Saturn in Pisces. If you are very overly excited to start new things with new people and you just want to walk into something that feels good, to kind of stop doing that introspection work and stop looking at your own shadows. You're like, wow, that feels so good with that person. And you're red flag. I'm just going to dismiss this and this and that. No, don't do that. Stop. Yellow light. Venus square Saturn is a yellow-orange light, okay? It's not a red light. It's saying proceed with caution. Why are you doing this? Are you just doing this as a form of escapism? Is this relationship, is this new endeavors, is this new hobby a form of escapism? So watch out for that. There could also be some broken agreements too. So, some people might be like, hey, I started my sobriety or started this new exercise habit or this diet habit, and then Venus square Saturn comes along and it just all goes to shit. So be very mindful of what you're doing, especially because Moon and Saturn are making the opposition on Sunday. So that can cause some people to feel a little depressed and want to use escapism as a form of fun and recreation. So what do we have for the cards for this weekend? We have the Hierophant. No surprise there, and Breathe from the Wisdom of the Oracle. So the Hierophant is telling us, we got to be patient when change happens. There is a divine order of everything. And as long as you follow the divine order and you don't try to skip steps in the scheme of life, you will be very much rewarded. Now with Breathe, this is saying, take some time out for yourself. Maybe take a pause if you need to, especially if you're about to do some Venus square Saturn things, like emotionally bypass by possibly using somebody else. Okay. All right. Well, guys, I will see you on Monday for the Astro Tarot. By the way, if you'd like to book a reading, I do have some openings in November, and it's SarahAshleyAstrology.com. I also start a beginner's astrology class, how to read birth charts, beginners, okay? And if you're not a beginner, you can join us too. That's fine. Just know that, there might be some basics that you've already covered, but hey, if you want to join. And that starts next Sunday on November 3rd, and that's 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern, depending on where you live in this earthly plane. It's 4 weeks, and you can get the details also on my website, SarahAshleyAstrology.com. I'll see you soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.